Any questions before I head into that or anything about Blue Swan Academy? Yeah, it can do anything actually. As long as someone is going to get something to increase their knowledge or their skills or to help them. When you talk about music healing, like there are a lot of people who are very stressed, and if music is one of the things that would help them. For example, I was helping do a small talk for the Sukma swimmers that are actually going, I think they just left for Sukma in Sarawak. Sukma is the national games for Malaysia. Because I'm an ex-swimmer, right? So I used to be a national swimmer. I went to 3 Sukmas or so before. So they asked me, so what do you do? You know, sometimes they're so stressed they cannot eat before the race. You know, so some of them, like you say, stress, they listen to music. So I don't know if you know who Michael Phelps is. Michael Phelps is he has 23 Olympic gold medal over the span of 4 Olympics. But 23 gold medal. Even countries don't have that many gold medal. He swim a lot of events, so he's win a lot of gold medal. So each Olympics he went, he keep winning, right? But I know him because he's the same age as me, and when I was swimming in America, I went to some competition and he was also there. So some of the events I also swam there also with him. But he always is very famous for when when they call you out to the stage, not the stage, to the blocks when you're ready to swim, kan? So he come out with his jacket, everything, but he always wear headphone, music, blasting, and he'll go there. Until you take off all your clothes already, the last thing he take off is then, in the waiting area before you go to swim, kan? He's always there. He doesn't talk to anyone. He just listens to music just to keep him focused, steady, calm him down. So music does help in different ways. It could be stressful in a negative way. It could be stressful in like I need to do something. I remember I did a yoga camp or whatever. It's just like a retreat with some friends, and they will turn on some music or they'll play some of those like the round thing, and then Okay, so starting on myself, right? So you guys know that when I first started, do you know why I became a physio? Not many people know, huh? So actually, like I said, I was a swimmer for many years, right? So I was a swimmer and I did Sukma, I went to US, I went to Thailand, I went to Australia for a lot of swimming competitions throughout my young life. And then I wouldn't say always, but I always got injured. So my father don't let me play other sports, like for example, basketball. Wow, sprained ankle. So then I cannot perform in my swimming, right? I remember vividly, the first time I went to physio is because I sprained my ankle playing basketball. So I went to SMC in that time now it's the Likas Hospital. Huh? So they at the back, they had a physio department there. So I met Vivian there. So she would treat me for my ankle. And then over the years, back pain, shoulder pain, whatever, I go through physio. But when I finished in high school in US, then I came back here to the high school. So I came back to KK. So I was deciding what to study. I don't really know what to study. So someone said, maybe you can look at work experience as a physio. Actually, before that, when I was swimming, I fell Form 4. I don't even think about Form 5, because I went to Sandakan, I was studying in government school there. I failed Form 4. I remember we had the exam one day, I asked my friend next to me, hey, can you just give me your paper? I copy, so I don't have 0. Even I fail with 20% is better than 0. But anyway, so I thought, because the style of studying in Malaysia is rote learning, you must memorize, kan? You must memorize. So I was very bad at that, and different languages also more difficult. And so I went to the States, then the way they teach is very different. You choose what subject you want to learn, and then you go to the class. So maybe, let's say I am 13 years old, I want to study human biology. But got a friend of mine who is 16 years old, they want to study human biology. So we might be in the same class even though we're different years. It's not like Malaysia, you go like Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. No, we choose our class even though we are in 1 year level. So it's different. And then your sports also, my sports was swimming. So you do everything encompassed by one teacher, just do what activity you want. But there is, you choose a sport. So my sport was swimming. Some people will be basketball, some people baseball, some people volleyball, badminton, whatever it is. Or those that don't have sport, you know what they end up doing? Rowing. Do you know that crew? Rowing on the river. So I don't know why they all go to... Anyways, it doesn't matter. Because the study type is different, then I realized, I'm not so dumb, man. I can actually get A on, you know what I mean? So I start to get better grades. So I told my dad, actually, I don't have any passion in swimming. Even though I got, gold medal and whatever it is, like I'm not interested because I just really didn't like it. I came back to KK. Then I did work experience as a physio. I had a friend's father had a stroke. He was a big bank manager. I can't remember what bank. But had a stroke, then cannot work anymore, right? And depending on the level of stroke, this guy's stroke was not too bad, but he could walk, but he cannot use his hand anymore. But during the initial first few months of recovery, they cannot walk. They have to work with rehab team, occupational therapy and physiotherapy. So that was the time where I also was introduced to him. And at that point, he is starting to regain walking again. So he told me, you know what, John? So I wish my son was doing physiotherapy. You have no idea how much physio helped me walk again. Then I realized, oh damn, maybe I should study this. So that's how I actually went to go and study physiotherapy. In my mind, I have always been like, I want to be a businessman. I want to know how to build high-paying jobs. That's my dream. So when I went to study physiotherapy, going back to lecture style again, university is 4 years for physiotherapy. I took 6 years. You know why? I didn't realize I was actually dyslexic. Because when you do lecture, you finish your exams, then you hand in, but you never get your result back. You don't get your papers back. You just get a result at the end of the semester or whatever it is, right? Until the second year fell. So I was quite depressed. I thought I'm quite smart, how come keep failing, it's very annoying. Then second, third year, then after that, I watched a video on Jamie Oliver. So Jamie Oliver is a chef. The chef in England, very famous. Yeah, so he started his conversation and his speech, I'm dyslexic, so I need to read these slides and all this because I cannot remember. And I said, what is dyslexia? Do you know what is dyslexia? Don't know. No. So dyslexia is not about IQ. It's just about how you retain information from reading. So I said, what is this dyslexia? Because in Asia, nobody talks about this. It's like taboo. Anything disability, don't talk about it. So dyslexia, you think about it, right? It's actually reading and writing is an invention, right? Someone invented writing so that you can record and learn. So for me, a normal person, for an easy way to explain dyslexia is like, if I were to read this, maybe Dr. Elaine read it one time, and then we close it, she probably can recite to me some of the things that are there. But for me, I will be like, it didn't go into my head. So I have to keep reading. So I take a lot longer to retain the information. But when it comes to practical exam, like the anatomy, the dead body on the table, so we learn the muscle, insertion, origin of where the muscle comes from, goes to, and then the different bones, so in 30 minutes, I can memorize everything because I see, feel, touch. So during my practical exam, I remember one of my classmates, he was very like, you're usually the one that failed. How come you beat me? He's those type, those kiasu, So then I realized something is not right. And then I had a practical placement in a hospital dealing in the neuro ward. At that point, there's a lot of stroke patients. And stroke patient, the file on them is very thick. It's not like, just like flu, you got just small file, I don't need to write much. But the file on a neuro patient is very thick. So I had a partner. The partner is an Australian girl. So every time we are looking at the folder, because the tutor is going to ask us questions. Yeah, they're going to ask us a lot of questions. So I was like reading, and she kept on saying, are you done yet? Are you done yet? So it's damn annoying, So I was like, yeah, I'm done, whatever, I'm done. And then mana tahu the tutor asked me question, So when the tutor asked me question,
I'm done.
I'm done. I cannot answer. Mati lah. So it's very embarrassing. So I was wondering, wow, what the hell is this? So that's why when I watched that, then I realized, but in Australia, it's very different. They know about this kind of disabilities. So they send me for a special test, for a full day test. So they did all this, I don't know, writing, reading, playing with things or whatever. Then I realized I was dyslexic. So when I went back to the university, there's one of those lecturers. She's one of the head lecturers there. Until today, she always message and see how am I going. Because she was like, wow, John, we all didn't know what is going on. Because in class, you're very smart. But then when it comes to the exam, always failing, So then with that, you actually get to spend more time. So when people, you got a reading time before the exam, kan? So my reading time, they actually extend longer, 30 minutes. So I can go in there by myself with another person or whoever is got dyslexic also. Yeah? We spend time reading and writing. And even for my writing, right, I will miss things. So what I think, sometimes I don't write it down. So I remember there's one class, is Women's Health Physio, the class. Out of the 200 students at the time, only one person failed. It's me. And then the teacher is like, "Hiya, I have to do the repeat exam just for you, one person." I said, even she want to help me like cheat and give me more marks. Cannot. I didn't write enough. She's like, "I can't even make extra mark for you because I can't, So I had to go to her cubicle to do the exam. No need to open another. Yeah, but that is my life during uni. And I remember vividly, second year, a teacher said to me, one of the lecturers said to me, because I failed, she said, "I don't think you're cut out to be a physio. I think you need to choose a different course, Just something like that, So for me, going through uni was hell. I hated it. When my friends pass, graduate, I didn't go to their graduation. I was very shy. And then not only 1 year I failed, I failed until it took me 6 years, When I started working, graduated, very happy. Because I'm a swimmer, I wanted to do hydrotherapy. Because I was like, swimming, hydrotherapy is something that I want to do. So there's only one company that has a swimming pool that does a lot of hydrotherapy for elderly or classes or whatever it is. So I asked to join that company. But it was the biggest company in Western Australia at that time. They had many clinics, but in that one particular clinic in the hospital, they had a swimming pool. So they boasted that they are the busiest hydrotherapy pool in the whole of Australia. Now I look back, it's just a sales tactic to get someone to work for them, you know what I mean? Anyways, during that time, but they were the biggest company. So I just applied for one job. So they got back to me and said, "Actually, John, all the spots have been taken for that clinic, but we are just starting out a new service which is home visiting." Huh? Home visiting? What sort of clients do you see? Mainly at that time is just elderly veteran. Veteran is those that go to war, and when they go to war already, they come back, they got injury from the war, so the government look after them. It's like the police or the firefighter. So but because of the war-inflicted injury, they will pay completely for their services. But not a lot lah. If you do $80 for one session at home. So this company, not many people want to do. You know why? Because in Australia, 1 hour you can see at least 2 to 3 patients. And if you count during those times, it's also 80 Australian dollars for one session. But if you go to the house, you can only see one person in 1 hour. So as a physio, most people don't want to do this job. You don't earn money. What for I want to go and do this? And not to me, it's the company gets the $80 and I get a commission of, at that point, only 30%. So how many patients can I see to make money? Very little. But for me, I always wanted to be a business owner, so I just do it because, and they promised me, said, if you do this for 1 year, then we will swap you into the swimming pool, the hydrotherapy clinic. Okay lah.
Promise.
Okay, I'll do it. So from 1 year, so I start to see all these veterans. When I saw these veterans, they actually have a lot they're elderly, but they're very nice, caring. Then I was like, quite nice to treat these patients. Then I start to see severe motor vehicle accident, meaning those like crush their leg, comminuted fracture. That means the whole leg, all the bones all crush up one, going to lose their leg. If they don't fix their leg, they have to amputate. So you imagine this big strong man in wheelchair crying punya, when you couldn't see them. Because they're going to lose their leg. And then so the journey is not 1 month, 2 months. It's like 3 years. Several operations over the span of few years. And then I like to go journey with them. At the same time, do you think it stopped me from learning hydrotherapy? No. I just go to the physio inside the clinic and ask, can I just follow your class? I learn lah. I do for free, doesn't matter. I go and learn. So 2-3 times a week I went almost for few months because I started to really enjoy the home visiting. Then I start to get private clients and then private patients in nursing home, because nursing home in Australia, they don't provide enough physiotherapy. One physiotherapist for 200 rooms, come on lah. There's no way you can see each patient in 1 week, you know what I mean? So a lot of people, they will pay you privately to do extra in the nursing home. So I was doing that. And then after that, at that time, it's all private paying. 3 years down the track, a friend of mine opened up a clinic. Actually, he opened up a clinic as a fresh grad. People are like, "Oi, you just graduate, you dare to open a physio clinic? Gila. Who dares to do that? You got no experience, who is going to come to you?" But somehow, God willing, his clinic, full. Second year, 2. Third year, 3. So I said, "Wow, Ben, what the hell? How come you are opening 3 clinics so young?" So I remember I sat down with him and he said, "Hey, John, you're doing home visiting. You like it, ka?" I said, "Yeah, actually, surprisingly, I actually really enjoy it. I can see the difference in people's lives because you are journeying with them differently than just a clinic in, out, in, out. People come in, go out, you don't remember who the person is sometimes." So for me, when I met the guy, he said, "John, why don't you join me? You run the mobile services." So for me, when I said, in mobile services, it's not just physio. It is also nurses, doctors, OT, podiatrists, everything. So his company is called Life Ready Physio. So I said, we have to change. Life Ready Mobile. Now I look back at it, I shouldn't have used that because everyone will never think, what is Life Ready Mobile? You sell telephone, ka? But anyways, so from there, that's how I have a partnership with him. 50-50. He run the clinics, I run the mobile services. And so that was so in the 10 years, I could see from the beginning, like I just said, first it's just the veterans. Then it started to grow and nobody would do this business. I had not much competition because you don't make money. It's very hard to make money. I couldn't even afford to pay for admin. I came back KK, I got a staff of 6 people from here to do admin over there. That's how Belinda helped me also last time. So as we grew, then you could see the government also start to move differently because government hospital completely full. Then they built transitional care, which is the place after hospital, you go to a place with short-term stay only, 3 weeks to 12 weeks. And then from there, you then go to nursing home or you go home. And these also become very full, no space. So then they start, maybe we should do disability and also elderly care funding for them. So they did trial. So when they did a trial, I was very fortunate that we are the first allied health company. We are the first physio company, an allied health company, to be able to do the trial for the government in Western Australia. So other states also, they got their trial people also. In Perth, we are the first. So they were testing us to see if with a few participants, they use a few companies that are willing to do it. And of course, it worked well. So fast forward, over the next few years, then you can see they start to introduce, like they will put more money inside. So maybe in the beginning it was maybe a few 100 million. Then the next year, another billion. Then the next year, 2 billion. So it started to grow like crazy because why? It's declogging the hospital, declogging transitional care, and then now you got home care services. And then obviously when that happened, the companies grow left, right, center. So many different companies. From equipment sales, you also can claim the money to live at home, And so our company, when the clinics grew to about 20 plus. So my partner was doing very well. But the mobile services is not like a clinic. You do not have signboard. It's all word of mouth. So it took me 3 years to get to 5 staff. But when the things kick in, it just grew. This includes, and at that time already, is physio, occupational therapy, speech pathologist, dietitian, podiatrist for feet. Very important. Here, I don't even think Sabah got podiatrists.
Current one's in second floor.
A real podiatrist, they have all the tools to check for diabetes, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so you got podiatrists, okay? And then as we grow, because this is all government funding, then suddenly insurance companies start to come into play. They start to be more savvy because they want to catch up with times. They want to learn how to utilize home services also. So it started off with orthopedic surgery, for example, knee and hip replacement. So instead of staying 5 days in hospital, after say you have a knee and hip replacement, after 5 days, you only have 2 days in hospital and then you get sent home. But they will pay for 8 sessions of physio at home. But that's over the span of 6 weeks. So 2 like that, whatever. When that happened, other insurance companies also want to fight. Wow, they got that service. Because as a patient, right, you're thinking, wow, which insurance company should I buy? Knowing that, this insurance company, they offer me the whole journey. Meaning, and I pay $0 for the whole surgery. Because I already pay for insurance. So that means, I speak to my doctor is paid for by insurance. Then I get checked into the private hospital. Private hospital is paid for insurance. And then I have discharge, go home, or zero out of pocket. For the patient also, it's much more better to go home earlier because people don't really like to stay in hospital, right? And then the outcomes also is that proven that there is readmission back to hospital is zero.
Readmission is
Yeah.
zero.
Yeah, proven. And also one of the biggest things, I think I was talking to some of the surgeons there because they all use robotic now. Here it's still very far, I know Glen Eagles try to boast that they are wanting to use it. Australia using it already, you know what I mean? So in the past, it took about 9 months, So for someone to get their knee back to almost 90 degrees, 9 months. For us, after 6 weeks, already they can get to 110. But it is a set program, right? So biggest health insurance company decided to buy us because they are the last one that haven't built any program for any insurance. Because they are a non-for-profit, they want to be very careful with how they spend their money. They got a lot of risk mitigation, all this. So they don't dare to do any program and just simply let any company do their program. Because what happened, you got readmission, then they have to pay more money. So that's why they become very strict with all those kind of risk and all that kind of stuff. So what did they do? They buy our whole company. When they bought the whole company, because of the mobile services, do you think they want to make money with the mobile services? No lah. They want to save costs. They save lots of money for the insurance. Then whatever money we make, because they are a $1 billion company. A $1 billion company does not care about whether they make 1 million, 2 million. If they just increase their premium by $1, they already make millions per month. Our company is irrelevant to them in that way. It's not to make money. It's for them to save money. So when they bought our company, one of the biggest blessings that I received is that we are the first company to be ever bought by health insurance company as a allied health company. Why did they do that? So that we can then help build the program for them. Because they are not health people, they're insurance, you know what I mean? So when they bought us, for 2 years, I get to sit on the table with them to discuss how much are they spending in hospital. What are the costs? What can they spend? What can they shouldn't be spending? Are they spending too much on this? And then we build the programs to make sure that they are able to save money. No one in Australia has done that except for us. So how can anyone in Malaysia do that? Impossible. Because they don't even have program for that at the moment. And there's no one that has the track record. So for me, right, and when I think about it, I'm like, shit, I'm just a Sabah boy, man. How did I get the opportunity to do this and then sell the business and then have all this? So for me, it's like I'm coming back with what I've learned to help, and do something which is never been done because it's not done. So I see a lot of opportunity that people, they don't know what they don't know. So they can't see it, right? But for me, I was like, I feel a bit dead inside because not only did we build the program for this HPF, which is the insurance company, out of the top 5 health insurance companies in Australia, we had contract with the top 4 of them. One of them, they have their own physio company. So the top 4, and then private hospital start to go to insurance company and say, instead of you pay the allied health or the physio company, how about you pay me all the money and I pay the physio? So instead of them wanting me to get funding direct from the health insurance company, they want to control also. So the private hospital, like say for example, Glen Eagles go, okay lah, Prudential, you pay me more money, I will provide the home care services. Instead of Prudential just paying Blue Swan kan, they be like, no, you pay me, I will pay Blue Swan. So then we start to get contract with the hospital instead. You know what I mean? So for me, then I start to work with hospitals again to build contracts for hospitals. So on top of the mobile services, myself, 4 years in, there's a company that had physios. They used to send physio to the nursing homes, 12 nursing homes. And then they also had a clinic. So I was like, me trying to be smart ass, go and say, okay lah, because the husband and wife company, they divorced. Very bad divorce. They are physios for Cirque du Soleil, the circus, the famous world. So they are always away traveling, and then I don't know, the guy got affair with one of the but they have very bad breakup. So the whole company, they want to sell. So I bought that company to include into my mobile services. So then we start to run all these contracts with nursing homes also. That is my experience also. And then later on, I think more recently, we bought a company inside a private hospital. So you know how in the beginning I tell you about the swimming pool physio company? So there's another company which is a physio company that is running the rehab, like any hospital, like Glen Eagles should have, who is it doing? Pantai, is it? Pantai runs all the allied health, kan? It's the same. So my company was running the physio department inside the private hospital also. So my experience ranged from home visit to inpatient to also nursing homes and then all allied health. And then we start to build, as we built the program for HBF, which is the insurance company, what did they want to certify? They needed geriatrician sign-off. The program that we built was not for hip or knee anymore. It was actually replacement of inpatient. So basically, you know how the hospital go into, sometimes they have a rehab hospital. So in the rehab hospital is usually watched over by some of them is geriatrician. A visiting geriatrician will go in there to look after the patients. And they are the one that can do the eligibility check to see whether this person actually can go home. Because maybe they go in for shoulder surgery. So they can actually go home. They don't need to be in the hospital. But they might not be able to do some stuff, cannot shower or stuff like that. You know, because when you have major surgery, it's very difficult to wear clothes or whatever it is. People will be like, just stay in hospital. Insurance pay ma. So insurance obviously you think it's cheap, staying inside the hospital. It's not cheap. So they wanted, when we built the program, it's actually a replacement for inpatient to reduce the stay in inpatient. Yeah, so, and the thing was, they needed a geriatrician to sign off. So when I came to KK, I was like, wow, damn, might as well just fast forward lah. Instead of start a physio company again, how about we build the company that has the geriatrician and the medical services? Then instead of being the physio company that I used to beg all these big companies for work, no, we build this, then we help grow other companies that are smaller. So I'm thinking of say for example, the physio company that we're using now, we feed them so that they can grow to become a big mobile physio company one day. You see, so I'm already thinking one step ahead to help these companies because I've seen it happen in Australia. So, but that was me. So we grew. And one of the biggest things for us there is because culture is a big, when you talk about leadership, my leadership is more about how do we grow people? How do we empower people? Because not everyone is meant to be a business person. If anything, did you know that 4% of businesses get to 1 million turnover a year? That is a very low percentage. If you talk about pass-fail, you have to be more than 96%, man. If you're not making more than 1 million, you just buy yourself a job. You might as well just go and get a job. There's no point. You're stuck in your cafe, restaurant, whatever it is, but you cannot go anywhere because if you're not there, no money. And only 1% make it to the 10 million mark. So for me, I'm in the past, I was thinking, why everyone don't want to be entrepreneur? And why doesn't everyone want to be business people? Then you realize that actually it is not for everyone. It's not for everyone. So for me, I want to be able to give, and as going back to Life Ready, one of the biggest concern for me is that because I built it from scratch and all the staff are there, and if I leave, what happens? So over the last 1 year, when HBF bought us, we have some of the best employee benefits compared to any company. For example, your health insurance cover is for the whole family. So if you're giving birth, everything is covered. Even if you work part-time 1 day a week, stuff like that.
You get the best people.
Yeah, for me, I'm so glad that even when I left, they are all very happy. They didn't leave. They continue and people take over my job because I was able to pass on everything I did and empower them, and now they're getting paid as a higher. So for me, I'm very excited to build businesses, not for myself to become rich, but really to be able to build really good opportunities for others also. Yeah, so anyways, that is my leadership. So when you talk about my leadership and philosophy, right?
Just out of curiosity, after you left, is the company still running?
Yes.
smoothly?
Yeah.
Oh.
Still, even my friend came back that day. He's the manager of Melbourne. Same. He's still working from here because his father just passed away here in QE. He came back and then he's telling me everything, but he said, I have to go back to home. So he's still there because he just had a baby or so. He utilized the health insurance and they're growing and they keep growing. They don't have to worry about work. As a private company, usually you're worried. Right now, we as a private company are trying to go, when is our next client coming in? We are trying, what's the biggest problem? Not enough staff. We don't have enough staff. Too much work until people are like, I have to reject the client. I cannot fit in already, So it is big difference. But when I first started, oh man, it was difficult. But at least this time, and I had to take loan. Here, I'm just using my savings to do. It's different. But I hope we can, this is one of the way to plug. Anyways, I spent a lot of time talking about myself a bit too much.